Hello, audience, and welcome to our commentary of one of the most successful independent animated movies ever made in terms of its box office. This is 2006's Hoodwinked.
I'm actually down with this film.
I've never seen it.
Not a bad movie at all.
It's very
has obvious
weird,
issues, but it's
I've never
enjoyable.
seen. I've never seen it, so this should be an interesting experience for me.
Basically, Hoodwinked is it's basically Shrek, but with Red Riding Hood.
It's basically you mix Shrek. Well.
That's not a good way to get me hopeful because I don't really like Shrek. I know heresy, but
Actually, James, that's not really that good a comparison since Shrek is still more fantasy based. This is more so mystery and crime based as opposed to what Shrek does.
all right. Can we start then?
All right, just
imagine CSI Riding Hood.
yeah. Basically,
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, start your copy right as the Weinstein Company logo is starting to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Without further ado, Dwibs, give us the countdown.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, click. Oh, and another thing I should tell you about this film, when it was being made and when, it was being put together, they already had the voice cast, they all recorded their lines. One of them, the lead, was supposed to be played by Tara Strong, but when the Weinsteins took over, they had almost all the cast replaced, bar Patrick Warburton and one of the directors who voiced the squirrel, and now Red's voiced by Anne Hathaway.
Huh.
A Weinstein
Why'd they do
Company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I think
Why did
Anne
they do
Hathaway was at the time. I think Anne Hathaway was growing in
was the
popularity
sequel?
at the
Was the
time.
sequel independent too?
It was published by the Weinsteins as well, yeah.
The Weinsteins, weren't those?
Okay.
I don't know. If you have an independent budget, you shouldn't go for CGI because CGI needs a lot of money to look good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this the animation is a bit stiff.
They should have went the hand drawn route.
I should explain. The budget for this film was less than $8 million.
You can tell.
And because of the low budget, the animation was actually done in the Philippines.
You can tell that this movie is more respected for its writing and humor and
No, I'm just saying that with that kind of budget, they should have went for either stop motion or hand drawn because.
Stop motion can be pretty expensive these days.
The intent of the animators was to actually go for a stop motion CG approach.
Oh, okay.
The problem is for some reason at this time, stop motion was actually more expensive than CGI.
No.
So they sort of had to go for a cross in between.
They used CGI, but their approach was to make it as if they were doing a stop motion movie.
So, like the Lego Movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Snack World? So, okay.
Or Wallace and Gromit. Well, nowadays, Wallace and Gromit anyway. So yeah, we start off with a classic rendition of, well, not exactly most classic, but basically a telling of Red Riding Hood as you know it.
Oh, and Glenn Close is the granny.
Oh, they're going the family-friendly version where instead of eating the granny, he trapped her in the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Granted, there is actually a reason for that.
So,
as opposed to...
Oh, I get it. So they're pulling the... What if this happened in the world with real-life logic?
Sort of, but there's a bit more to that.
It's one of those, what was the
bear.
other side of the story kind of things.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever heard of a book called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs? Where it's basically told from the Big Bad Wolf's point of perspective, and he's sort of in jail for it. That's sort of what this is like.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the big cop bear's voiced by Exhibit.
Who the hell is Exhibit?
A rapper.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Don't worry. He does a fine enough job.
Well, he hasn't got. Well, he's just pretty much voicing a stereotypical big cop. A little bit.
So the three little pigs are cops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
They'll explain
Basic-
all of this, don't worry.
Basically, Pedro, there's this goody bandit, and basically the police are running on the theory that Red Riding Hood and her grandma are the goody bandits in cahoots, and the wolf just happened to be trying to eat her, whereas Paul Bunyan was just wielding an axe without a
Wait,
lumber's license.
Is that one of the frogs from Meet the Robinsons? Like, what the hell?
Voiced by David Ogden Stiers.
Basically, what
Yeah,
if
I can
one
tell it's him, yeah. I would recognize that suave voice anywhere.
So
Yeah, me
basically,
too.
Pedro,
Wait, have you heard him before?
I have, yes.
well, she is Anne Hathaway after all.
Yeah. Well, pre
Oh my god, it is one of the frogs from Meet the Robinsons. Like,
but that's not answering the question, is it?
You're avoiding the question, Giles.
Yeah. So basically, most of the rest of this film is him interrogating the
Each of them
witnesses
individually.
and asking them what they saw and how they saw it.
So yeah,
Yeah, and it's Patrick Warburton playing Patrick Warburton, but he's awesome. So
oh yeah,
Oh. Has there ever been a time when Patrick Warburton hasn't been awesome?
Tattoo.
I haven't seen that movie yet, so
Don't. It's terrible.
I can't really say anything. Really, I've heard Tattoo is okay.
It's honestly, as someone who actually enjoyed the first Ted movie, I'd say it's a piece of shit. But we'll get to that
Aw.
eventually.
Oh, by the way, song. Yes, this is a musical as well.
Again, I'm perfectly fine
Really,
with that.
this is a musical? I thought this was mainly just
Yeah.
this one song.
No, there's
Well-
quite a few songs.
Well, I remember there being this song and a gag part, where there's this cutesy song, but I don't remember others. Unless you count the credits fame.
The
Well.
actress singing the song herself.
Yeah, it's Anne Hathaway.
Well, Anne Hathaway has proven herself to be a very capable singer, so
Mm-hmm.
she was actually pretty awesome in Les Miserables.
Les Miserables. Flying bicycle. Oh yeah,
Lovely.
apparently in this in the film the
So
songs
is this post Disney or
I should explain that the songs in the film were actually supposed to go on a bit longer, but the Weinsteins ordered them cut down.
Yeah, I can see why.
so when in terms of Anne Hathaway, this is post Disney Anne Hathaway, right?
Yeah. Oh, and Andy Dick's voicing the bunny.
Oh, I don't really like Andy Dick.
Well, Paige, if there's any consolation, in the sequel he's only there for like 5 minutes.
All right.
Well, then again, most of the characters in that film were only there for like 5 minutes, from what I could tell.
Then what's the sequel about?
You'll see.
Well, I guess it's a step up from his career from fucking Johnny Mnemonic. Basically, believe it or not, in the 90s, Andy Dick actually starred in a Sega CD FMV game.
Well, this looks like a Sega CD FMV game.
Yeah. To be fair, Paige, this isn't exactly post Disney Anne Hathaway, since she did do quite a few Disney ones after this movie.
Well, okay, post Diary of the Princess thing.
Princess Diaries.
Yes.
And yeah, basically,
Snack
because
Shack.
because of the person stealing all the recipes, all the places are closing down, even though that's kind of weird.
I get the feeling this movie would have benefited a lot more from being made today, because it was made in 2006,
And being live
right?
action.
Because,
Yeah.
No, not so much that.
Well, actually, it came out in 2005 in Los Angeles, but in 2006 it got a wider release.
Okay, basically,
makes sense.
Basically, production-wise, 2005. Yeah, this could have benefited from being made today because computer animation has evolved so much from 10 years ago.
Right.
To be fair, it did sort of benefit off of the whole CSI craze.
Yeah.
Your monthly escape.
That's one thing even fans of the movie admit: the animation sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, considering the budget, it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's got the excuse, unlike Food Fight.
Honestly, this is one of those cases where I consider the animation.
Honestly, compared to Food Fight, this looks like fucking Brave.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, this is one of those movies where the weird animation, actually, I find it to be one of the movie's charms.
Don't get me wrong,
You
I
know.
find
Well, hell, hey, Joe, the charm must have worked. It made like $110 million on an $8 million budget.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I think Brave is mediocre, but the animation is fucking gorgeous.
Yes.
I had so many hopes for Brave, and then it didn't turn out the way I thought it would.
You're next. What, Goldberg's doing this?
And I mean in terms of story, by the way.
Yeah.
Wrestling joke. Out of business.
Basically, apparently this Goody Bandit has been basically stealing recipes and sort of one-upping the competition by making improved versions of them.
Yeah.
Isn't it a process of elimination, though, if so many businesses have gone out?
Well, I will admit the way they pull off the twist is actually well enough done. When we do figure out who the Goody Bandit is.
Did all the cast from this movie return for the second one?
Not Anne Hathaway.
Oh, so
Huh.
all right.
Anne Hathaway was replaced by Hayden Panettiere.
Oh, I like Hayden Panettiere, so. For those that don't, she's actually, I mean, not only I like her a lot as Kyra, yeah, she also is doing a great job in Until Dawn, so. No.
Okay, as I was saying, there's a squirrel character we meet later on in the movie, and he's actually voiced by one of the directors,
Oh, really?
Corey Edwards. Basically, there's someone with three directors, Corey and Todd Edwards, who are brothers, and Tony Leach, who was also the film's editor, and they all wrote the film.
Yep.
Yep. Whoop.
Speaking of being careful,
Yeah.
Don't lean on the door, you moron.
Da 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 da. Okay.
Tree physics fail.
Again, Paige, you have to
Fantasy
remember
world.
the budget.
No. I'm not talking about the animation itself. It's the way she fell. Like, it's not a budget thing. They could have had her. Oh.
Oh yeah, you know the reason the Weinsteins ordered the songs to be cut down? They felt that audiences would be impatient with them.
so they read your mind. Yes, Patrick Warburton. Yeah, he's hands down my favorite character in this movie.
Can you? I can't imagine though, because considering this film made all that money, the theaters must have been at least half packed. Because imagine the reactions of the audiences with the animation.
What do you mean?
Can you imagine all the audiences in the theaters watching this and they're thinking, "Ugh, the animation's kind of."
2005, Dwibs. We had different standards back then. Honestly, if anything, the animation was considered well enough for its time at the time of release.
Yeah, I think even by 2005 standards, I mean, it's not the worst animation I've ever seen. God no. But
I wouldn't know how people react.
I still think this looks like Van Gogh compared to Food Fight.
Honestly-
of course.
I mean, seriously, James, back when it came out, I never heard any complaints about the animation, to be honest.
Of course.
I mean, it's 2005. I mean, maybe if it were 2009, by the time when effects were really starting to...
this feels a lot like the Yokai Folktales segment, where they take the old Japanese fairy tales and put a mystery / sci-fi take on it.
That's how I feel. They spent all the animation budget on the water.
Oh, come on, Dwibs.
The water's gotta look good.
You can't really say that this really looks that bad for its time. I mean, heck, even nowadays, it doesn't really seem that bad. I mean,
I still think it looks a bit ropey. I mean, I understand why, because of the budget.
Well, I can understand a bit ropey, but bad, per se? Oh.
It's not good. It's not bad. It's like...
I actually like that joke.
I can tell they tried.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I
might
mean, I
be-
mean, I mean, well, the Philippines isn't exactly well renowned for grand animation, but they
Oh,
tried.
that reminds me. In case you missed the joke, Pedro. Basically, Red said, "Well, I ran away from him because he was creepy. That's enough, right?" And then the frog says, "Actually, madam, we don't arrest people just because they're creepy." Hey, Frank, you know the guy who we have in the septic tank? Yeah, the creepy guy. Yeah, let him out.
Yeah. Oh, and
Oh,
basically,
oh, that's pretty interesting character design right there.
yeah.
It's Randy Newman's pet goat.
No, 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 no.
Bas-
If this was Randy Newman, he would be singing the most unsubtle lyrics of all time. It's a story about friendship with music by me.
Basically, well, aside from those two words that Red just mentioned, he's been cursed to sing for all eternity.
Okay.
Oh, that'll be explained. Don't
I'll
worry.
explain later. Don't worry.
Like I said, you hear the story from everyone's point of view, so you will get.
So far, I'm not really keen on the pacing of this movie. It's moving a bit too fast for me. I don't know.
I can
It's
see
sort
that.
of,
I feel like they should have slowed down a bit, built some character first.
I guess that's a problem with the 80-minute runtime.
well, that's sort of how the. Well, okay. In a way,
For a movie that has a small budget and not that, so they couldn't really do that much in terms of runtime. They probably shouldn't have gone with a mystery plot because those kinds of plots are,
Points for
are
ambition.
best when they slow down a bit to build up atmosphere and character. They probably should have went with something a little more simple in terms of story.
actually, Pedro, they
Pedro,
do develop.
You'll be begging for this kind of story when we reach Hoodwinked 2.
Oh.
Anywho, as I was about to say, actually, Pedro, they do develop the characters. See, the way it works is like basically you see the story told 4 times, but through the eyes of each of the characters. And basically, it's like, well, the reason that they speed through these is like, well, basically, the idea is like, well, you sort of see the story 4 different times through each of their eyes, but the catch is that between each ones, we actually develop on all the characters with each repetition of it. So it's sort of how this one's working. It's like, well, yeah, it's fast paced, but it's deliberately made so because you're gonna get to see it again through someone else's eyes, so you can get more of the story, so to speak.
I love. I don't know why. For some reason, Red with horns on there kind of looks funny.
Oh, and now we're in. Oh, this is the 3D part, I guess.
3D? I don't recall
this-
this movie
this-
being
Was,
released in
was this
3D.
movie released in 3D?
No, the sequel was, but not this
Okay.
one.
Because this just screams part that was specifically made for the 3D effect.
It wasn't.
No, I don't remember this movie ever being in 3D.
Nah. I wonder if it got a UK theatrical release. I mean, I know it got a DVD one, but
I don't know. The first time I saw it was through a DVD.
right.
Maybe it did. I don't know.
Help!
I remember a lot when this movie first came out in theaters over here. I actually saw the poster of it.
What were your thoughts?
I never saw the movie. I just saw the
Yeah.
poster when I was going to see. I didn't even remember
that's
what movie
why I
I was
meant-
going to see back then.
Well, that's what I meant. I mean, on the poster, what were your thoughts?
It looked like a generic, one of those movies made by a studio that nobody knows
Oh
about.
yeah, there's this bit.
Wait. Wait. Yoda, is that you?
You sword.
Yeah, basically, there's sort of a family tradition in our family. Basically, their hoods are extremely useful.
Oh,
So prepared
could
that
have
it came with the
held-
horns that can be used helicopters.
hmm
So yeah.
Now Red's about to knock on Granny's door as per, well, tradition. Oh, she doesn't knock on the door. She just bursts in.
That's pretty funny.
Wait. Did the movie start over again?
No.
Well,
So, like,
that
this is like how we ended up here, basically. How
Oh.
where they where the police came in with them.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they're pulling a non-chronological order? I
no.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. It's like I said. Imagine. Okay. Oh, here's a better idea. You know how the Clue movies would give you different endings when you came to see a different showing? Well, basically, imagine if, say, a movie had 4 different ways it went. That's sort of what this is like. Hence why I said the pacing is purposely rustering its story on purpose because it's basically the story told for different characters. And this one particular is my favorite.
So now we're getting the wolf side of the story. Good Will Hunting reference, everyone.
Yep.
That's right.
Plot twist.
Oh yeah, the Big Bad Wolf is the reporter
You've just
of
been
the
M.
fairy
Night
tale.
Shyamalan. That reminds me, The Visit is coming out soon over here, so I'll be watching it.
Here, really.
I'll be watching it with my brother. So,
I might go watch it actually when I have the dosh.
like I said before,
I'm not touching it.
I know, but it's just how I am. I have a weird fascination for M. Night Shyamalan.
Have fun
I'll
with that.
go and see it since I'm a fan of the series now. I'll go see the new Avatar movie.
Wait, the new Avatar movie? Oh, you mean Avatar
Yeah.
2 by James Cameron? Or
No. M. Night Shyamalan's planning.
oh,
Shit.
that no, there's no way that's gonna happen. I still don't believe a word of it.
Every news site is apparently saying that it's confirmed. So
I'll wait for more proof because I still can't really believe that would be that fucking stupid.
however, if
Well,
it
they
actually,
still the
well,
guy
to be
still
fair,
has a career at all, so they could be that fucking stupid.
the sad thing, Pedro, is that movie actually made money overseas.
Our country is terrible.
Shishiro, it's not just yours. It's just a matter of individually for each country, it didn't make that much money. It's just that the profits accumulated and it somehow ended up as a profit because of the various.
Okay, basically, I won't bother reading all the film's production stuff, so I'll just link it to you guys.
Yeah. For now, let's actually focus on the awesomeness. Oh yeah. Okay, I love how he says creepy when the butterflies race her bike.
And here's Twitchy.
Wait, is he a minion?
Basically, he speaks ultra super fast.
Basically, the director recorded the lines and then he sped them up.
Interesting. So I'm guessing if you slow down the movie, you can actually understand what he's saying?
They actually are going to do something like that later.
Probably because he's obviously saying something. It's not gibberish.
Yep.
Yeah, you can tell. You can. I managed to make out 2 words. Yeah, he's definitely saying
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I don't think Gary. Yeah, Twitchy is
That sheep's face.
yeah.
And
Oh
now
wait!
we're
Oh
in-
wait!
No,
Wait!
that's-
No,
that's
it's
the-
okay.
It's a
And now we're in
disguise.
Wales.
Wait, did Elvis Presley become a sheep?
Yep.
No,
You ain't nothing but a hound sheep.
It's like I always say what you will about Hoodwink, but you cannot deny that Patrick Warburton's Wolf story is... this story alone makes the film worth it, in my opinion.
I think the character designs are interesting.
Oh yeah, they are.
See, Red's story is basically, shall we say, the intro story. The Wolf story is then basically the ultra super genre savvy deconstruction humorous one.
The Hoodsman's more.
Well, the
More about
Woodsman's
him.
is, yeah, and the grandmas. Well, the grandmas will
We'll
we'll
get to
save that for last.
Yeah.
I'm half
The
expecting they're
Woodsman-
going to give you up to start playing.
The Woodsman story is more like I'm a part of the story, even though I shouldn't be.
You can tell that when they were making this movie, they were obviously thinking about centering it around Red Riding Hood and the Wolf initially. Not that the other two stories are necessarily bad. In fact, I actually get quite a few laughs out of the Woodsman's. And Granny's is...
One part of the Woodsman story, though, kind of scares me.
But for now, let's focus on this one, because I flipping love this one.
Shut down everyone in the forest. Red's a mass murderer.
So yeah, the wolf got the wrong idea that Red Riding Hood's actually the mastermind.
More tree physics.
Yep. Fud. Yes. Oh. It was just his stomach crumbling. Oh. Ew.
So you see, Pedro, in reality, the wolf was never trying to kill or eat Red. He was just trying to get the scoop on her.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Sorry, Twitch, we can't have your we can't understand you shit going on forever. Get it? Look.
Wolfsbane.
Yeah.
So wait.
Yeah, she's a karate champion.
You were saying, Pedro?
Never mind.
Yeah, that's the explanation I kind of like. They just show a picture and then we can get the full story just from that.
But
Yeah.
Hell,
I kick ass.
I mean, hell, the lone to
They're pulling a big top.
to his credit, the Lone Ranger did that for like a second.
Wile E. Coyote shares your pain, Patrick.
Actually, Jova, no, because if this were Wile E. Coyote, he would fall on hard, painful ground rather than water.
Hey, if you fall from high enough, water hurts.
True,
remember,
but they didn't
Pedro,
really
I
fall high
remember-
enough for that.
But remember, Pedro, there were a few Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote shirts where he actually did fall from a cliff into a
Yeah,
river.
but nowhere near as high as he did.
What I was basically saying is like, well, they were mimicking the Looney Tunes, realized are in air and
Yeah,
stuff.
I know.
Done. Oh, for a second there, I thought the film ended already.
And then they died.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, Twitchy is a twitchy people either really like or really hate for obvious reasons.
I like Twitchy. I forget, how is he done in the sequel?
from what little bits I've seen of Hoodwink 2, they kind of managed to screw him up.
I think if he
Yeah.
was a constant, he would come off more as annoying, but he's just a side thing. He's not there all the time, so I can tolerate this.
Yeah, and his gimmick is pulled off well enough. In fact, there's actually a few times where it actually gets a laugh out of me.
I mean, he's not annoying, he just talks really fast. He doesn't do anything particularly annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, according to the people who directed the film, in order to hide their budget, the animators were told to emulate Rankin Bass style stop motion. I haven't seen Rankin Bass, but do you say this is like it?
Really? You haven't seen Rankin Bass? Actually, a slight improvement over Rankin Bass. So you haven't seen stuff like the stop motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or the Year Without a Santa Claus?
I don't think I have. Page your review.
It's terrifying.
Well,
Well, it depends. I mean, if it's something like the Year Without a Santa Claus, that's actually charming. If it's
This
something
joke
like
is
Rudolph the
referenced
Red,
quite a lot, actually.
yeah. If it's stuff like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, though, oh boy, does that animation get annoying?
Dynamite.
I wouldn't say annoying. I would say it fucking scares me.
True, that too. Granted.
Hey, at least you got an explanation for all the explosions.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
that didn't.
the bridge is out.
Oh,
Well, that
And
went-
that's how they
well, that
end.
explains
Oh, that could have gone worse.
that.
And that explains why Red's mine cart ended up taking that tumble off because they blew up the track
So
accidentally.
basically, we're peeling away the layers of the plot, and
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why as you put it, the plot was sort of rushed at first because that's sort of their intention. Run through it, peeling away the layers each time so you can actually start solving the mystery. And the way the mystery is actually solved is a
Let
way
me
that
guess.
you could solve it if you pay attention.
Let me guess. Granny turns out to be the villain.
You'll
Close,
you'll
but not
find out.
quite.
There is a plot twist involving Granny, but it's not that.
And you see, Granny was actually already tied up.
Yeah. That's a clever show in there.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
Aww.
Adorable.
I don't know. I don't really mind the squirrel. It works.
Oh yeah. I
Again,
mean,
again, from what I heard, they kind of screwed him up in Hoodwink 2.
let's not talk about that for now.
See, I mean, he's actually useful as well. So,
Yeah.
get in a corner now.
I don't know. I actually have a soft spot for this kind of character. The character who tries to be funny and never manages to. I have a soft spot for those type of
Oh boy,
characters.
coming up is one of the scariest shots of the movie.
That said, it is. The Woodman story is
the
how we
Woodsman is
say,
trying to be an actor.
the Woodsman story is kind of the filler story. However, it does still play a part in the overall scheme of things. I mean, I would say he's probably my least favorite of the stories. Not saying that he's bad, but well, it's just my least favorite.
You shouldn't really have filler in a movie like this.
Well, I wouldn't really call it filler so much as like, well, yeah, you're right. Actually, filler's a bad word for it. I'd say it's more so the one that's, how shall we say, the more crazier one.
Because some things in his story are actually slightly irrelevant
Oh
to,
boy, here it comes. Oh god.
but
There's a certain
okay.
part of this song. Okay, maybe not this bit exactly, but okay, not this bit, but
And the fourth wall just cracked. It just broke down. Wait, is Gecko's the one? Jax is the one directing this?
Cute little cameo.
He nearly died.
You could say he's a lumber that doesn't know Jack.
Jover, go to the corner where that bird is. There's this.
I actually thought
This
that
is-
was kind of fun.
This is what I meant. Coming
And
up.
there's where Red passed by.
This is the scene. What I meant.
Well, to be fair, the scene is sort of
Schnitzel?
supposed to be like that.
No. I was talking about the designs of the kids we
So
see.
now
Oh
is it...
yeah, the kids
Yeah, this is
design.
what-
What the hell is
It's a
that?
small world after all. That's what I'm getting.
See what I mean now? My God,
Oh, that's
this is almost as bad as the kid from Food Fight.
The budget ran out?
What the fuck am I looking at? This is hideous.
Okay, the rest
Okay.
of the movie was fine, but what the hell happened here?
Jover, for as much as you try and defend the budget, you surely can't defend the designs on these kids, can you?
Who said I was trying to defend the budget? What I'm just saying is, like, well, the animation's not bad for its time. However, yeah, the kids are
Terrible.
Awful.
out there. However, that's just the kids, though. Honestly, I
mean,
sort of completely,
okay.
honestly, I sort of completely forgot about the kids. I mean,
The NPCs
Yeah.
in Sonic Adventure 2 are less ugly.
yeah, it's like, well,
Hell,
it's like,
I'll even argue the ones in 06 are less ugly.
Thankfully,
Oh.
thankfully, unlike Food Fight, the ugly-looking characters are just confined to the kids and not the entire movie.
and the kids aren't even really there that much. That's why I don't really pay that much mind.
Yeah, I think
Anywho.
that's all we'll see of them, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically the tires off of his truck have been stolen. A callback.
Excuse me while I start spanning off more pop culture references. Seriously, it looks like so much like Gex. Even the voice is similar.
Maybe
It is
that's where
weird.
they got their inspiration from. They played Gex a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's one thing Hoodwinked is also remembered for, it's that it actually pulled out the pop culture references rather well, unlike Dougal.
Or its sequel, from what I hear.
Eh.
Yeah, from what I've heard, Hoodwink 2's full of pop culture references.
I really don't want to see this sequel.
Well, you got to,
You have
Shiroy.
to.
I know.
So basically, he's practicing for the callbacks. Like I said, he's a lumberjack who doesn't really know his job.
Chopping for actors.
That nice. That was clever.
Chopping for actors, yeah. Acting. Hey, guys. This is where he learned his acting chops.
What, Skip Woods?
Yes, Dwebs, that's the joke. Thank you.
We get it.
You can't chop down all the trees, you know.
He's
Especially
really
not that
determined.
one. That's a redwood. I think.
He's determined to get that part
Big enough.
lives.
What acting job have you heard of? You have to cut down trees.
You know when they say break a leg, they don't quite literally mean break your leg,
No,
right?
you moron, don't do that. The Lorax will show up and...
Tell you off.
You're destroying all the homes, man.
Quick, listen to the singing lady in the background.
You want to bring up physics again?
And now Danny DeVito shows up.
Honestly, considering they replaced almost all the cast bar Patrick Warburton and the director with big name actors, I'm surprised they didn't get Danny DeVito.
Verbal humor.
Help! The tree is chasing me.
And now Grant Kirkhope took over for the soundtrack.
And this is where he supposedly leaps into action to save him.
Yeah, turns out he was recovering from
Yep.
Hmm. Oh, by the way, the woodsman's called Kirk, and he's voiced by Jim Belushi.
And now here it comes. The
Is
granny story.
Hi, Glenn Close.
Unlawfully delicious. Well, and it's probably not best to tell you that your grandmother is played by Cruella de Vil.
You mean the original actress who played the original in the original animated film, or
The
Live
live
action.
action.
oh, wait,
Really?
Glenn Close is playing this woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? They managed to get Glenn Close. Huh.
Remember, they replaced most of the original
I
cast.
know, but with $8 million, you still be able to get this many big name actors?
I guess the Weinsteins were the ones that did it off.
Oh, goody.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It is Glenn Close. What the hell?
Don't worry, she gives a wonderful
Oh
performance
no,
here.
no, I fucking love Glenn Close. You don't have to convince me of that, Joe.
Yeah.
Basically, Granny is actually an extreme sportsman.
And she lied to her granddaughter.
She's an,
because-
she's an 80-year-old adrenaline junkie.
This is a typical cartoon joke, sure.
Welcome to SSX PS1 edition.
That said, though, believe it or not, this is not the only twist to her, actually. I mean, they make you think this is just all there is, but there's actually another plot twist concerning Granny.
It's cool to see grannies doing things that they physically would not be able to do.
Ah, but it's not just any Granny, Pedro. It's Glenn Close Granny.
True.
Right.
Actually, it depends. I mean, not every elderly person is frail.
Yep. Now, remember why Granny told her that a trip up the mountain is too dangerous? Well, we're about to see why.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want her finding out she was going to go skiing down the mountain.
In a tourney.
I actually like what they pull at this. It's not just that she's trying to be, hip and cool. It's like, well, she's actually a granny who sort of likes to live life to the fullest, but doesn't want her granddaughter figuring out about it because she's afraid that she'll worry too much and treat her like a frail old granny. That and another secret.
What up, my homies?
Can you not say words that not even young people use?
Ugh.
Oh, shizzle, my nizzle.
That was so incredibly lame. That's not.
Edwards Brothers, Tony Leach. I'm not quite sure this is how most of these people
Are you
talk,
sure?
even back then.
Are you sure Aaron
Yeah,
Kruger
Pedro, I'm
didn't
kind
write
of
this
afraid
part?
to...
No, Aaron Kruger had no part in this.
Pedro, you haven't seen the dialogue in Splatoon, have you?
Splatoon? No, but Splatoon is a different case. I mean, hold on.
It couldn't be more 90s even if it tried.
Yeah, I think Splatoon pulls that off a lot better, though.
So, the race is about to begin.
Who will win?
Who will lose? Who will end up having to be in the sequel?
Now, which of you would be computer generated to DVD, or which of you would be computer generated direct to DVD? Oh wait, no, that doesn't work here because it's already computer generated.
This, yeah, it's like I was saying, this does kind of feel like SSX a bit. You got the rivals and the back talking.
I'll be right back.
Da, I'm German, da.
I'm surprised he didn't get Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, wait, he was still governor of California at this time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Let's just call him our token Schwarzenegger impersonator. Then again, he is Austrian. Yep.
So yeah, Granny was actually doing the snowboarding thing.
Dang.
Bounce. Oh my god, I haven't heard that since the Power Rangers movie.
Brought back to you by Hoodwinked.
Like
In 2005.
Actually, I'm
Slash
talking about the
6.
1995 one.
I know.
Wait, so you probably don't want to know. When did the first movie come out? The Mighty Morphin one?
1995.
Yeah, okay.
So 10 years later, they brought it back.
Well,
Courtesy
11,
of the Edwards
but
brothers
sure.
and Tony Leach.
Snowballception.
Bomb. See, the humans here look fine, so what was with the kids?
Maybe they'll grow up pretty. I don't know.
I'm guessing that when they came to the budget, when they had the last few bits, the least of it came to the kids. No one can resist a scolding from Glenn Close.
And the granny's dead.
But that,
Yeah.
no, that cannot be because we already know that she survives this.
We'll see.
There we go. Oh, she just happened to have that, fortunately.
She did, trust me. She's an action grandma. Bungee cord. Always a must when you go mountain climbing and skiing.
Yeah, you got to prepare for everything.
And yeah, this is how. Remember that weird scene where.
Wait for it, we're not there yet.
All right.
We're almost there.
Now it's time to see how she mops the floor with them. Yeah. Remember that avalanche that was sort of chasing Red while she was in the minecart?
And the wolves. Oh well, the wolf and Twitchy. That's what caused it.
Yeah.
Granny blew up the mountain, all right. She basically pulled a Mulan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whee. Yeah.
Yep.
More like old woman Granny.
And she
pocket.
still won. Granny wins by a landslide.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Literally.
I should have said the last names of Red and Granny are Pocket. See, oh yeah, now you're gonna get an explanation for the whole Granny flying through the air thing from earlier.
Oh.
See, she too uses her cloak to float, in addition to the parachute, of course.
Way. God damn it! Where's Red? The script says I must find Red.
There she is.
There we go.
That's actually pretty clever.
But the hooks aren't in her hands.
Yeah, why?
Where did the hooks go?
Basically, they're running off of the assumption that Red probably thought it was just a mirage, so she probably didn't notice the hooks.
But the handles weren't there.
Well, to be fair, this is a typical thing.
Did they really have that little left in the budget?
No, it wasn't that, Dwebs.
Honestly, Dwebs, that's a typical
I
thing
can tell
where
it
they
was
show
done on
stuff from
purpose. But a lot of films of this
Oh
nature
yeah, and
tend
that's
to
how
do that.
Granny got tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of films of this nature tend to cheat a bit in that regard. To
So she tied herself up because clumsy.
Yep. She got her parachute caught on a fan, and that's why she was tied up.
And she can't do anything about it because...
Yeah, like I was saying, some movies of this nature, a lot of movies of this nature tend to cheat a bit in that regard. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically also so they can show it from the different perspective. Yep,
Oh.
in the most blunt way possible.
That.
Axe! And then they all got arrested.
So who done it?
Who done what exactly? Nobody really did anything wrong from what we heard.
They're still trying to find the
The
goodie
goodie
bandit.
bandit.
Oh yeah,
goodie
the good.
basket.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And I know what you're thinking, Pedro, trust me. The mystery actually has been lingering around, and they have left some clues. Now it's around the time where you try and guess who done it. But for now, yeah. Red's not too happy to figure out that her grandma lied to her.
I still find the whole goody bandit to be kind of, I don't know, underwhelming as a main conflict.
Well, to be fair, it's not so much the drive. Wait a minute, hold on. What am I saying? It is the driving force. However, the way they pull it off actually does make sense in the grand scheme
No,
of
I'm not saying it
things.
doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, I mean, I could have picked something a little more exciting than a bandit who trying to
Yeah.
put
Oh, you'll
pastries
see.
out of business.
Oh, Pedro, you'll see where they go with the whole goody bandit plot.
basically,
So she's
Red's-
taking off her hood.
Red's not happy with Granny for lying to us, so
So basically, she's
Oh,
taking off her hood as a sign that she's leaving the family business. And yeah,
Since I watched the episode recently, I think it's kind of the only thing I can compare to. It's kind of like when Zuko kind of cut off his ponytail.
Wait, there was an episode in My Little Pony where they cut a ponytail.
No. it's
No,
just
Avatar. Zuko.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, the Last
remember
Airbender.
Scroll-
Okay,
Him and
okay.
his granddad just kind of cut off their ponytails
Oh, that.
as a symbol of fuck you. You know, all
But yeah,
these songs that aren't actually musical numbers, more like songs just playing over the movie. It kind of only sunk in today that the most recent Disney film didn't have a single musical number in it.
Which Disney film are
Big
you
Hero
referring to?
6.
Well, to
On
be fair-
Inside Out.
Oh,
actually, that's a Pixar movie, not a Disney movie. But
Well, it's technically a Disney movie. People count them as the same thing. But yeah, I mean, heck, either way, Big Hero 6 or Inside Out, I suppose.
usually when it comes,
Oh, that one didn't have a musical
Well,
number either.
Pixar never does musical numbers. John Lester himself said that he wanted Pixar to be different from Disney in that regard.
Well, there is technically that musical number in Toy Story 2.
Musical number. Oh, that. That was more like something as a little throwaway
Like I said,
gag at the end.
That's not really a musical number.
Like I said, technically. Any flashback. In my pocket. They actually do build up on the baking thing, and they do eventually make you see why it's so dang important.
so yeah, the hood was actually a sign of family tradition.
Okay.
To be fair,
I
some
still
tales
don't
have
understand, I
tried
still don't
that.
understand why she took it off just because Granny didn't tell her that she's a sports granny. I don't know.
Adrenaline.
Well, it also has to do with the hypocrisy. See, Granny was overprotective of her, basically saying, "Oh, Red, you shouldn't do this sort of dangerous stuff." And so basically, Red has been trying to live her life as careful as possible. And then she figures out that her granny has not lived up to even the own morals that she's trying to push
I'm
on
a bit
her.
confused by this scene. Am I supposed to feel sad here? Because, I don't know. I mean, the movie has been pretty much a kind of a comedy, a lighthearted comedy so far, and now all of a sudden it's pulling an emotional
Don't
moment.
worry, they don't linger around on this for long.
I don't know. I just don't think that. I mean, it kind of feels out of place. Like,
Well, basically, the idea is like, well, there's been this big bond of trust between Red and Granny.
not
which
really, but fine. Like the granny didn't really do anything until they brought her up to question her. I mean,
Well, that's sort of the thing. Is like, well, basically, the story has made it clear though that Red trusts her Granny over everyone else. I mean,
I
like,
know,
well,
but without that being a big focus of the story, it's kind of hard for me to feel for that moment.
Well, I wouldn't say that that's his biggest focus. I mean, hence why the scene with her being sad is so short. However, for what the scene does show, it does exemplify that Red does have this big sort of
Heads up,
trust.
guys. I think the bandit's back.
Yeah. To sum it up, basically, I mean, for the few seconds that scene is on, yes, it does mean something because, well, Red has shown that she has a great trust in her granny over everyone else, to the point where she suspected everyone but her granny.
I don't really think that element was really needed. I mean, the movie is good enough with the mystery thing. It doesn't really need that.
Okay. No, I can see that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's not for everyone. It's funny. You've gone from saying that the mystery wasn't done so well to saying that it's done well enough with just the mystery.
No. I'm not saying that. It's just that I mean they've been focusing so much on the mystery thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, bond between Granny. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that was needed. The time spent with that scene could have been used to try to throw up more suspense for the mystery. I don't know.
Anywho, it was more of a side thing. Anywho, so yeah, now we're going to try and figure out who the culprit behind all this mayhem is, because believe it or not...
Okay, so it's not Granny. Okay. It's the frog.
No.
Well, I'm guessing it's one of... The character is in this room, the villain is in this room right now.
No.
Oh, he's not?
Shut up!
Oh, usually in mysteries it's like that.
Well, actually, I'll let you... Keep trying guessing, but yeah, you'll see who it is.
Although when they do tell you who it actually is, they will go back to little moments in previous scenes in the film to sort of explain.
Yeah, they'll pull a Sixth Sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, the recipes are gone.
Again, the whole recipes thing is kind of, I don't know. Couldn't you find something a little more?
So here's the thing, though, Pedro. The recipes thing is actually the thing that actually brings all the plots together.
I know. I'm not saying that, Joe. What I'm saying is that couldn't they find a conflict that's more interesting, like somebody stole money or somebody stole, I don't know, something a little more...
Remember, Pedro, kids' film based on Red Riding Hood.
I know, but this
well,
one
not
is
so much...
clearly trying to appeal to a young...
The culprit was a bunny.
What? Andy Dick was the villain?
Yeah.
Well, you'll remember they're about to show you what happened.
Yep.
You see, when he was trying to grab her, he was actually trying to get the basket of recipes.
Evil plan.
Basically, for the recipe thing, the real stake in that is like, well, recipes are sort of like, shall we say, the big business of the woods. Not to mention the fact that the pockets have had this long lineage of recipe doing. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's like, well, you know how the Layton universe likes to make puzzles like the big currency or whatnot of the Layton universe? That's sort of like what recipes and baking are to this one.
Okay.
So, yeah, the main villain was Andy Dick. How weird.
Mm-hmm. So the rest of the movie
and
is
I
them
will give the
chasing
film
after him,
that
I
was
guess?
actually a pretty good twist.
Yeah, pretty much.
It would have been cooler if they unmask him right in the Sherlock Holmes style, but sure.
Well, to be fair, he wasn't there, so I guess they couldn't have. And they did sort of do the unmasking thing with the ears. That was there.
I guess... Wait.
Oh, it was the...
Wait, Joe Pesci? What is Joe Pesci from Moonraker doing here?
I guess he got tired of trying to sell drugs to kids and instead started to work with the killer rabbit.
Yeah, Shiro. That's the plot of Moonraker. The villain is the villain's evil plan is to sell drugs to kids.
Right.
It was written by Michael Jackson, Shiro.
You have to go to Twitchy Plan B here.
Yep.
You can tell Michael Jackson is not good at this whole writing thing.
Yeah. Here's what happens when you give Twitchy coffee.
Oh boy.
Well, we all know this was going to happen.
Is he going to turn to Cornholio?
I'd say more of a mix between Crash Bandicoot and Sonic.
So they're going to send him off to alert the cops.
So he became a roadrunner?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have unleashed hell.
So.
And now it's time for things to get serious.
Well,
as serious as you can get with a killer rabbit being your evil crime boss syndicate.
And voiced by Andy Dick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he really is a dick.
it's always the cute little bunnies. Although I don't know if cute applies to this one.
Basically, the reason he was stealing recipes was because he was tired of being the...
Are
He
you
was
sure?
tired.
Okay, are you sure this scene wasn't just Andy Dick talking about how shit his career has gotten, and they just decided to use it for the animation?
I don't know, but that's sort of the reason why he's been stealing recipes. Part of the reason he's stealing recipes is because he's tired of being the mascot or the one who's the cutesy face for all the corporations.
So he's tired of being second banana?
Well, that and also being the cutesy mascot and dancing for them. And I guess he also wants to make his own way in the business.
This bunny feels like a Conker's Bad for a Day character.
Without the swearing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the idea, actually.
So Jax, Conker, I'm guessing the people who made this movie grew up with playing 90s platformers.
That wouldn't surprise me.
This seems a bit extreme, considering his motives.
Mm-hmm. He's very psychotic.
I mean, I can't see Luigi doing anything this stupid.
That said, he does also want to make his way in the business and be top of the game. In addition,
Then take cooking lessons. Don't take over the world.
But Shiroi, you can't conquer the world with. You can't conquer the. You can't get good recipes if you use your skills for good. You have to become evil.
Yep. Yeah, it's sort of he wants to become best in the business while also annihilating. And when we say annihilate, we mean literally blowing away the competition.
Literally.
And now he's singing.
I like what they do with this concept in that it's sort of more so a bad habit of his, as opposed to him willfully trying to torture her.
Sweet there.
Evil Empire expect to grow.
Definitely one of Andy Dick's better characters.
So is one of his better characters is a bunny in a film that costs as much as it...
So it's like the police chief from Last Better. He's evil and he freaking loves it.
Yeah.
It'd be like, so his best character is a bunny in a animated movie that has about that in film terms has about as much budget as it would to buy a McDonald's.
This is pretty much the most tolerant I've seen of any Dick.
Yeah.
Yep. So basically, his evil plan is to not only be top of the business, but also to blow up the woods and basically make his own Disney World and also control every single medium. Huh.
But hey,
so it's like...
Hey, he's giving Red a good send-off, he's performing a musical number. It's like Sideshow Bob in that Simpsons episode.
It's like the Weinstein Company felt sorry for Andy Dix and just figured, guys, maybe we should give Mr. Dix his own breakout performance.
Guys,
But
Andy Dick said the title of the film, "You've been hoodwinked, baby!" Oh.
Yeah.
But didn't Shark Tale do that joke?
we don't
plenty of stuff has done that.
we don't like to talk about Shark Tale.
I
We're
like
gonna
to
have
talk
to
about Shark Tale.
eventually.
I'm sorry, what?
We're gonna have to eventually. I might
I
add
like-
it to my bad movie list.
Yeah, I like that movie, but I guess I can see why people wouldn't like it.
That movie's a piece of shit.
I'll fully admit that I loved it as a child.
Me too.
I still have a soft part of my heart.
I don't anymore.
First complaint.
What?
Will Smith as a fish is fucking scary.
Hold on. Before we go into that, though, let's actually pay attention to this scene.
No shit.
I like how even the squirrel's like, "No, you morons! I'm speaking complete gibberish. What do you think?"
Bunnies are terrible.
Hey, if
Maybe
you see
this is
Monty
where Angel
Python,
gets
the
his
bunnies are
attitude.
scary there.
Well, that's no ordinary rabbit, Chirai. I mean, look at the bones. I mean,
So, what did Andy Dix get to do after this?
hopefully nothing. Was he in the
Lives.
second? Was he in the second movie?
Ooh.
Any dick?
Yeah, but like I said, he was only in it for like 5 minutes.
Probably for the best. But I mean, well, after this film, oh yeah,
Well, the sequel came out like 6 years after this one did. 6 to 5 years.
I know. But what was in between those? I mean, well, was there anything good in his film career after this movie?
I don't know.
So how come was it so hard for them to get a sequel to this movie made since it made that much money?
Pedro, the sequel was made by 2009, but there was all sorts of legal troubles with the Weinsteins and the production company regarding marketing and all that stuff, so it got delayed till 2011.
And wasn't there also this thing where where they had an opportunity to like have more funding, but instead decided, oh, we're gonna be like the first movie, and deliberately did it on an independent movie budget.
No, Joe,
Sam Raimi Spider-Man reference.
No, Joe, the movie was already
Yeah.
made. It was just all just bullshit legal stuff.
I guess it makes sense. Huh? I'm surprised he smelled it instead of hearing the drop.
I warned you, Shiroi. I warned you. It's just an ordinary rabbit nose. It's always the same thing.
Oh.
Ooh. Behold, I have the power to take you down with my bike.
Well, she is Glenn Close.
True.
Wow, Anne Hathaway and Glenn Close. Who could ask for a much more stronger family genealogy? Hey, it's like with the Grahams. The females are always so awesome.
And away Red goes with a crate full of TNT. Or dynamite. Or as Twitchy calls it, dinamite.
Dinamite.
And now it's time to see some special things that those baked goods can do.
Whoa. Yep.
That's right. They're so well tasked in baking that they can use baking utensils as snowboards.
Or rail board.
That's even more impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take the truck.
Yeah.
We're not that awesome.
Oh, here we go.
You do.
Here we go.
Now, slow it down.
Yeah, I reckon that's the actual voice of Corey Edwards.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what happened. They he recorded his lines, but they sped them up
Yep.
and raised the pitch.
I mean, if you listen carefully, he is actually saying something.
Mm-hmm.
Physics.
Yeah, with enough gymnastics, you can do that.
No, I'll talk about how the door fell.
Ow.
Well, hey, Red might as well jump. She can defy gravity.
There's only an
She's fallen
extent,
from
though.
this height before.
Remember, Dwayne, she needs the hood to defy gravity, though.
Oh, okay.
But she didn't know that the first time she fell from the cable car.
The magical hood
Yep.
of gravity defying.
Oh.
Release!
Wait. Oh, right. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
There you go.
Hey,
There's
what-
your hey, what do you know? All that waiting did pay off.
Yeah. Was well, very.
How does the bunny have control over these people?
Because he's an evil mastermind.
Because
Leroy.
he's the evil
Yep.
guy.
You saw the chart, Leroy. They've been making very good progress. Progress is progress, and progress must grow.
And then they go into the police truck.
It's the death penalty.
Say cheese. Oh, now you're trying to be the cute little bunny. Too late.
Yeah, we forgive each other now.
I don't know. I just didn't think the movie really earned this.
I can see that.
Yeah, it was more of a side thing and not
but-
the main focus.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with it, but
It feels like they wanted to have a heartfelt element to it, but they couldn't because of limitations. You know.
I guess I could see where you're coming from.
And
It's
I
like
guess
if
in terms of budget and running time.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it's like if Tarantino all of a sudden wanted to have like a romance subplot in Pulp Fiction, but only had like enough budget to fit it into like say 20% of the movie.
Yeah.
That said, it's more a side thing, so I consider it harmless. I can see why you'd say that the film didn't deserve it, though.
Oh, and the goat's back.
I feel
And
like
he's
the
delivering
time.
recipes.
I feel like they should have abandoned that plot thread and just replaced it with something more related to the mystery itself.
Well, it was technically related to the mystery, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. Ah, the free pigs. That sounds like a setup for a nice sequel. Though from
This
what I
movie
hear,
didn't get a nice sequel.
Well, here's the setup for the sequel.
I'm actually surprised. How much bigger was the budget in the sequel?
The sequel got a budget of $30 million.
whoa, that's like 22 million more, and it somehow managed to be terrible. Gee, it reminds me of the Fantastic Four movies.
Happily Ever After Agency.
It's setting up the
Cute.
sequel, yeah.
Tell me, Dweebs, did the sequel actually fall through with this, or was it something completely different.
They still did the Happy Ever After agency stuff. There was just some other stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's derp face.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Hoodwinked.
I forget if there's a stinger. I think there is one.
Nah, I don't think there's a stinger.
Hold on, let me look it up. Let's see. Hoodwinked.
So while we
stinger.
wait for Jova, let's see your final thoughts. Let's start with Pedro, because he hasn't seen the film before.
Oh, me? Okay.
Hold on. I'm about to see if there's a stinger. There may be. There's definitely one for the
Jova,
sequel.
I've seen the film. There isn't.
Huh. Guess not, but there is one for the sequel, apparently. Anywho.
Go on,
Yeah.
Pedro.
Yeah, carry on, Pedro.
Yeah, it's okay, I guess. Yeah, there are some really good jokes in it, and I like and the mystery was overall pretty good. I do,
So-
like I said before, I do think that element involving Granny and
Red or Grandma.
and Red Riding Hood didn't really need to be there. I mean,
kids.
the animation. Well, oh yeah, there he goes, going close.
Jim Belushi.
The animation is good for the considering the budget and the time it was made.
Aside from the kids.
Except for the kids, obviously. The music.
Oh, Anthony Anderson.
I don't know. I just the musical numbers are fine, but the music was the music aside from the musical numbers, was the music actually made for the movie, or
Yeah.
including those songs you hear when
Yeah.
when it's just something going on, and they play music over it?
Yeah. This movie had an actual score by John Mark Painter.
But aside from the score, there's all the songs that you hear were are they?
Were any
Yeah.
of them pulled
Yeah.
from other places, basically?
Actually, some of them are actually done for the movie.
Well, the point is.
Oh, Tom Kenny.
Well, the point is the music. I think I don't know. Like I think they could have used a little more orchestral score in it, because for the most part it was just random songs playing. I don't know. But yeah, it's okay. It's a nice. It's not a movie that I'd go out of my way to watch. But if it's playing on TV, I might, and I'm bored. I might as well watch it again. Why not?
So, Pedro, what was your favorite of the 4 stories that we looked at?
Probably the wolf. Yeah.
Okay, Shiro.
Pretty much everything Pedro said, except, I mean, the songs are okay. I just don't remember any of them afterwards.
Yeah,
Aside
it's
from
like,
that-
honestly, I don't really consider this a musical. I mean, there's like 1 or 2 music numbers, and
I mean,
those are
they're
mainly
not
played for
really
laughs.
musical numbers. They're just songs playing over the movie.
Yeah.
I don't really consider those musical numbers.
Aside from
Apart
that,
from that, oh, sorry.
go ahead.
It's an all right movie. I've seen it a few times. I don't avoid it, but I won't go out of my way to watch it either. So yeah, that's it for me.
Okay,
So,
Jova.
well, before I say it, I'm sure I have. Which was your favorite of the 4 stories, I
The
guess?
Wolves again.
Yeah. All right, my turn, and yeah, I'll get it out of the way. Yes, my favorite of the 4 stories was the wolves as well.
Oh, but Jova,
Which-
can I say mine in advance?
Okay.
The wolves.
What a shock.
I know, shock horror.
But yeah, it's a very neat movie. It's not the best movie, but it's definitely one that handles its genres well enough. The comedy's well enough. The story's well enough. Everything's well enough. Animation for its time is nice enough, except for the kids, of course. I like all the characters, and I feel that they all get their own time to shine in a good way. And I like how it's not your everyday parody of a fairy tale. It's like, it's an actual mystery crime drama. And each telling of a story is you peeling away at the layers and learning more about the world overall. It's like the movie sorts of fakes you out by making you think, oh, it's just going to rush through the plot. But no, it's actually fleshing out. And yeah, I love how over the top the villain was. So yeah, keen adventure. Really liked it. I wouldn't go to the ends of the earth to see it, but I'll definitely watch it if it's on.
So I guess my final thoughts then.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a decent flick. I mean, there were a couple of jokes that kind of made me go, ugh. But there are some that did get a giggle out of me. Yeah, and the animation. Yeah, the animation. I mean, okay. I know this was 2005, and I know this was a really low budget, and I'm not saying it's the worst animation I've ever seen. No, that honor goes to freaking Food Fight. But yeah, I mean, hell, even the directors were like, "Yeah, we know it's bad. This is all we could do," and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, the kids look awful though. I'm sorry, I don't think anyone, even those who can excuse the budget for the rest of the movie, no one can defend the kids, can they? But yeah, it's a decent flick. Yeah. So is that it?
Joba?
Pretty much. Actually, I didn't.
Yeah.
Job already voiced
Sorry.
his final thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So yeah, that was Hoodwinked. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for. Okay, join us next time for when we commentate on Hoodwinked 2, Hood versus Evil.
Joy.
It should be interesting to see.
Yay!
I've never
I've
seen it
heard
before.
things.
In fact, I plan to make that my next movie pick.
Okay.
Get it over and
figures.
done with, huh?
Yeah, get it over and done. Well, Sherry, considering it's directed by that guy who directed the Postman Pat movie, I'm not.
Oh God.
Well, the one where
no.
Postman Pat goes to X Factor.
Yeah.
In the end,
Alright.
let's end this on a high note, though. I
Okay.
would say it's a movie that we could all well enough enjoy.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
See you next time.
See ya.
So yeah.